Hi everybody, Lorina Quigley here, your mystic medium, Lorina Q Mystic Medium. Anyway, so today I'm doing another video, and this one's going to be about working with your psychic gifts, but also accepting them. It can be hard to accept your gifts. There can be a bit of an internal struggle with them, how to deal with them. You want more, you want less, it's like, oh no, it's too much, I can't handle it. All of these things can happen if you're empathic, clairvoyant, all of these things, that it can be a bit of a struggle. Learning how to deal with it. I did have someone make a comment on one of my YouTube videos about being empathic, and she said, how do you make it stop? Was her question. And I haven't really gotten back to her because I really wanted to think about that. And how do you stop it? Well, you never stop it entirely. You cannot. And it will serve you. Having psychic abilities is supposed to serve you, especially being empathic and just moving through the world. It helps protect you, actually. You don't want to turn them off entirely. Because you can learn how to have it serve you. And also when you're dealing with energy and feeling energy, sometimes when people feel too much, I think that's when you want to kind of shut it down. And what you can do is learn how to let those feelings flow through you and imagine them flowing through you instead of getting stuck in you. Because when you start feeling so much, you're getting stuck in the feelings of what's happening. And one of my clients the other day, she said, one of her teachers said, you have to be the vessel, be the empty vessel, as in just let it flow through you. And that takes works, and that is moving, learning how to move into higher states of consciousness so that things don't get stuck. And this is the work. All right. But that's, it's important. And I have to say that when I was pretty young, and incredibly psychic and definitely a feeler, I'm very clairvoyant and very empathic. And I grew up that way because of just the way I grew up. Because we had there was just a lot of stuff in the house. And I was trying to figure out how to deal and what was going on. And I've talked about it in some other videos. But what I did when I was, and I did get a pair of tarot cards a set of tarot cards when I was 18. My brother gave them to me. And so it was a very special gift. And also, growing up Mormon in Utah, I would set, just to tick my mom off, my very religious Mormon mom, I'd set the cards on the dinner table just to bug her, because I knew it would just irk her. Anyway, that's what teenagers do. But anyway, so working with the tarot cards, I started working with it. I became more and more psychic. And at some point, I was, I think, around 22 or 23 in that time period. I was incredibly psychic, but could not manage it at all. I didn't know how to, had no clue. I didn't have any teachers. This was in Utah. There were no psychic development teachers anywhere to be had there. So, and I just didn't know how to manage it, what to do with it. And it scared me. It scared me. So sometimes having psychic abilities can scare you. And you don't know how to manage it. You don't know what to do with these abilities. And so at some point, and I had gone to a party where it was just out of control. There was so much poltergeist and movement and activity, paranormal activity, things moving, doors opening, lights flashing on and off, the stereo would turn on by itself. I mean, crazy. And the door would open and you'd feel this really cold breeze moving through the room. And it was like nobody's on the other side of the door and there's just this cold, cold air. Oh, yeah. And in the library, her father, this woman, her name was Ruth, her father, she was probably around 21. She was a good friend. Her father was a lawyer, and he lived in the avenues in Salt Lake City. So big old house, and I mean old. I mean large house, but old. The most important point there. So there was a lot of weird activity in that home. Even when we weren't at party, having a party at her house. But at this party, there was a den. Like for his office, I call it the den because there were tons of books. Like it was just law books too, like big heavy books, built-in bookshelves, books sitting there. At some point, and my sister Charlene was there. These books, I mean big heavy law books that are on a bookshelf that's built in, came and it was probably about this high standing up. These books came flying out. Flying off the bookshelf. Hit Charlene. Charlene hit me. I can't remember what we were doing. I might have been doing a tarot card reading. I don't know. But it was crazy. And it was too much. And so I think that night was when it kind of really got me scared. It's like, oh no, what's really going on here? Am I connecting into darker energies? Because I am psychic, just unknowingly. Now, was I? Well, there's just a lot of spiritual activity in that house. I don't think it was anyone that, in particular, that I was connecting with. It was just energy that was in the house. And if I'd had more knowledge and information and just groundedness in my spiritual knowing, just beingness of knowing who I am, I would have been okay with it and going, those are just some silly ghosts. And you can tell them to go away. But I learned this much later. So at some point I took my tarot cards and I threw them away. And I just went, okay. And I told myself, and I was talking to God, and because I'm very spiritual, so I knew there is a higher being, and I think at that time I definitely called it God. And now I just call it the divine or spirit or source. I said, please, I need to stop this for a while. I cannot do this. So I'm going to set this aside. And when I have knowledge and understanding and a much more grounded spiritual understanding of life and the other side and all these things, I'm setting this aside. So please help me with this and help me to open it up too when I want to. So that was my intention. At some point, I'm going to open this back up and really explore it, but I can't do it right now. And that's basically what happened. But again, you never turn this off entirely. You can't. And you don't want to because, again, our psychic abilities or our intuitive awareness, those hunches that we get about being safe and protected, and are we walking into a dangerous situation? Should I not go to a party tonight? Something's telling me it's a bad idea. When we need to listen to that. So it's actually good to develop these things. We need it. And I think that centuries ago, when we were living a much more natural life, we were much more in tune with all of these things. But the technology and mostly technology, but the going into urban places, urban cities, living where there's less nature that we're connected to kind of takes you away from that part of yourself. So you have to actively try to stay connected and be in nature so that you do have these abilities. So I think it's very natural to have these abilities. I don't even think I know. And we all have different levels, and because of what we've been through and what we came into this lifetime doing, knowing, our society and culture, we're going to have different abilities, especially family, different abilities and awarenesses, and how we grow up is going to affect our abilities in the intuitive world. So, yes, so accepting your gifts. If you fight them, it creates chaos. Fighting them does not help you at all. You need to actually, well, you don't need to do anything, but it helps if you can go to a place of acceptance within you. How can I use these abilities so that I can grow, so that I can make my life better and perhaps help other people too in some way? This makes life easier, is acceptance of them, instead of the more you fight with them, it creates more chaos. And energetically say, no, I don't want to be a seer, like just, throw my blinders up and I don't want to see. But then you do. What happens is it creates chaos. It actually creates more chaos around you because you're fighting with an energy. So when you're fighting with something, it creates more of the same. So you need to step out of it. Go into acceptance. Work from there. That is where, there's books about this, the path of least resistance. There is no resistance in acceptance. You just are where you are. And what can I do with this now? Yeah. And there are some signs that you have psychic gifts. And one of them is hearing things. And when I say hearing things, it makes me immediately think, oh no, I'm hearing things, I must be crazy. Well, maybe not. So hearing things. So and I really mean this, have you ever heard your name being called in the middle of the night, perhaps, or just suddenly like I've heard it. It's like, Lorina. It's like, whoa, what? I just heard my name. What's going on? That can happen. And you can even be called out of a dream, somebody's saying your name for some reason. I've had that happen too. It means you've got some gifts. Someone's trying to connect with you. Do you see, like when you're getting ready to go to sleep, and you're getting close to that, it's called the hypnagogic stage. When you're going into that state of true, real relaxation, and you're in between being awake and asleep. There's a middle place where you actually can start seeing things. Sometimes, I also call this sometimes remote viewing, because I can start seeing different places. But you can also see, you might start seeing faces around you, faces popping in. Quite likely you're psychic, and that could be actually clairvoyant or a seer. You feel the emotions of others. That, some people say, because I'm not clairvoyant, I'm not psychic. This is not true. And I have some people in my classes who say, oh no, I don't see things. First of all, I say, don't say that, because you can always open up more of your gifts. There are a few people who cannot visualize at all. I think that's called, is it aphantasia? Which is, they do not see things and cannot. Could be a physical reason. Anyway, but I know somebody was saying, oh, I'm not psychic. I know several people, I'm not psychic, because they don't see a lot. They're not very clairvoyant. But if you're not clairvoyant, you still have your empathy, your auditory. You hear things. So you might be quite psychic, hearing things. Clairaudient is what that is called. Also, smell things, just have the feeling you absolutely know that somebody is standing behind you. Yeah, when my brother died that same day, I absolutely knew. I didn't see him, but I could feel his presence behind me. I absolutely 100% knew, Marlon, I know you're there. I know you're there standing behind me. I can feel you. And it was a time of great sadness, but I was very happy to feel his presence, that he was there with me. This is also psychic abilities, because some people, they don't consider it. No, that's psychic. I just wanted to say that. And that comes to inner knowing. You may just know. And we all have those moments where we just know. For no logical reason, we just know. That is psychic. And that's having a psychic gift. And also, if you see peripherally in your vision now, sometimes when you see peripherally, that's not hard to say, peripherally around you. So you're seeing things over here. You're seeing things over here. When that happens, you can see movement. You may actually see beings or spirits off in the distance. This is the easiest way to connect into seeing, being clairvoyant, is start noticing your peripheral vision when you're, say, meditating, but you should have your eyes open. Meditating, but you can meditate with your eyes open. I do on and off, close my eyes for a while, open my eyes for a while, just to see if anything's happening around me. But you may feel that too, or you may see it in your mind's eye. But it's easier, especially in the dark, it's easier to see spirits or energy peripherally, just because of the way our eyes work and how information comes in here. So if you see that, that's another psychic gift. And it's really fun to do that in a class. Turn down the lights and look and see what's around you with your peripheral vision. What else? I did miss one. Let's see. Oh yeah, if you have really vivid dreams, and those vivid dreams are super colorful, and also if in those dreams you have visitors from loved ones who are on the other side. And I want to say, if you have dreams where people who have passed come to visit you, some people have doubts about, is that real, is it not? No, that is a visitation. Absolutely a visitation. Now, what we do with our minds and how we interpret it is an interesting thing. So it could be good, it could be bad. And that's our interpretation, or even our subconscious or our psyche making things perhaps scary. But usually that's, in fact, I think always, okay, that's a big statement, always. It could be the psyche working some stuff out too. But for the most part, that is a visitation. That is somebody reaching out to you, connecting with you, wanting you to know that they're there. And they see you, and they think about you, they love you, and they come to visit. That's all there is to it. Anyway, I think that's it for today. I hope this helps you. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions around any of these things, please let me know. Anyway, that's it for today. Oh yeah, Peanut's with me. I didn't even mention that. There's Peanut. I feel, there you go. Hi, Peanut. He's been he hasn't feeling really, really great last day and a half. So he's being a little lazy today, which is good. He's on the mend. He is getting better. We're working on. Anyway, have a great day, everybody. Be well, do well, be kind to each other, and let me know about your psychic gifts. Bye for now.